Welcome to our third week of Team Cup, our Passion Fire Empire Team Cup United call. We are going to just briefly touch base, see where everyone is with their invites and Success Club points and what you guys need help with. And that's pretty much all we're going to do today. We do have the Diesel Nation call tonight. It's not really a Diesel Nation call. It's a Beachbody call, but we're all getting on it at 9 o'clock as a Shakeology Surge. And if you guys have not seen the call that we got a chance to have with Darren or Oline, I can never say his name, Oline, from Diesel Nation a few weeks ago, definitely look in our team page for that replay. It was awesome, and Christina Delgado had him on as a guest, and he really dove into the value of Shakeology. Obviously, he's the creator of Shakeology, and he talked a lot about that. So we're going to forego our team call tonight and have the team call be for the surge at 9 o'clock instead of 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So really, I just want to see what everybody might need this week. I know for me, what I'm running into hi Kinsey, for Team Cup is I am having a lot of people who are waiting to place orders. So I have a ton of people who right now I think at this point 7 people that have committed to a challenge pack and have not placed their order. And I just want to touch briefly on this because this is something that happens a lot. And I think it's really important to point this out because, you know, like we always say, inviting is the number one thing that's going to move your business forward. It is the number one of the vital behaviors that's going to continually create momentum in your business. So if you can't do any of the vital behaviors in a given day, let's just say, which you should be able to drink your shake and find time for a half an hour workout if you're a Beachbody coach. However, if there's a day where you're just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy, like some stuff, life happens, right? You know, somebody might have an emergency or there's a funeral. There's tons of things that come up that are not on the agenda. If that happens, the biggest thing you want to have is your invite list the day before so that you know in the morning or whenever your pocket of time is during your day that you're going to get those invites done no matter what, because that is the one vital behavior that on a consistent basis is really going to move. It's so vital. Like, you can do personal development and you're not going to grow much more if you don't do personal development. However, if you're not inviting, then you can do all the personal development that you want, but you're only going to get better for you and you're not really helping anybody because you're not extending an invitation to them. So I really want to stress that, because what happens a lot of times if you're not doing these invites is, you know, you hit a wall or you run into people who are ready to sign up in your challenge group and they're ready to sign up as a coach. And they say, okay, I just need to wait until I get my taxes done. Or I just need to wait until Friday till I get paid, or whatever the case is. And we all understand that. We've all been in that situation where we need to wait to a better time in our month. But a lot of times what happens is they don't end up following through with that commitment. So if you're banking on people, that's a huge mistake. And we've all done that. Good night, Ryan. Are they going to bed? Night, cutie pie. We've all been in that situation, and we've all, said, okay, I have so-and-so person that's going to sign up on Friday. And I'm not saying this happens every time. Some people legitimately will say they're going to do something, and then that day comes and they follow through, and that's great. That's where your follow-ups come through. So one really important thing, like I said, I have 7 people in the pipeline right now that have verbally made a commitment to purchase a challenge pack, right? Well, we're at the 16th of the month, and a lot of these verbal commitments were in the first week of the month, and they still haven't happened. So I've been a coach long enough to know that even when somebody tells me they're going to do something, I don't count them as somebody who's going to sign up. I say, that's great, and I hope they do, and I'm going to make sure I do my due diligence and follow up with them and support them along the way. But I'm not counting on them and going, okay, I have this person, I have this person. You have to treat everything in your business as if people could quit at any time. And I don't mean have a scarcity mindset and be afraid. I mean constantly be planting more and more seeds like a farmer. So if we always talk about the farmer approach, and it's really important because it's literally, you can't have a better analogy than that. The farmer is not going to go, I got these really good seeds and I know they're good because the last time I planted them, they were really good. So I'm just going to buy some really expensive seeds, meaning for us, that would translate into spend tons and tons of time on these specific people. And then I'm going to work all of that into my plan. And so I'm only going to plant these seeds. The farmer wouldn't do that. He would plant those seeds and know that probably those are going to produce the best crop, but he's still going to go out and find more seeds every single day to keep planting and create his huge farm, because he doesn't really know, is that seed going to get eaten by a rabbit? Is that seed going to get, drenched by too much downpour of a rainfall that was unexpected? He doesn't really know what's going to happen. And in our line of business, you don't really know, you don't have control over what happens in people's lives. I could have somebody who says, I'm so sick of being overweight. I cannot wait to do this. I get paid on Friday. I'm going to get the All Access Challenge back. And then Friday comes and I don't hear from them, and I follow up with them. Hey girl, just want to know if you're ready to get set up. And you don't hear from them. And then you find out they got into a car accident. You find out that they got into a fight with their husband and they just couldn't bring themselves to get on the computer because they were too occupied with something. You have no control over those things. And so I can't stress enough, don't bank on people. Just keep people in the pipeline. Next. Always following up and nurturing the relationships that you've already created so that you're constantly having momentum. So I know that a lot of us are, I'll be honest, I expected to be like Success Club 20 at this point, but I'm Success Club 7 right now. I just have to keep it moving. I just have to know that I'm going to continue to follow up with the people who've verbally committed, hope that follows through, but I'm not banking on any of those people. So my invites are happening every single day. I'm making sure that I'm getting my challenge groups, nurturing the current challenge groups I have, making sure I'm getting ready for the month of March and April, always thinking ahead. I had a thought today when I was downstairs before I got on the call. I was making dinner. My husband took my son to the science fair and I really wanted to be there, but we had this call and I didn't want to cancel the call. So I was thinking, okay, there's things that normally my husband would be doing. I can do these things. And I started making his lunch and, making my husband's lunch, which is not something I usually do. Made dinner, did some stuff that we normally do the next day. And I thought, this is just like our business. The more prepared you are, the more ahead of time that you're just, and it doesn't have to be light years ahead, but just things that you're doing ahead of time. It just makes you know what you're doing when you sit down at your computer. It makes you understand what you haven't done yet. And, it really just keeps your momentum going. Stacy's really good about organizing. I actually went to her house a couple weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago, for her to help me just get my brain back on track with what the heck am I doing, in terms of marketing planning and all this stuff. And it really helped me to remember, wait, I already know all this. Sometimes you just have to be reminded. And I think that's with anything. I think when you start to feel off track, you just have to go back to the basics. I posted a video that I watched today from Bonnie Engel. I posted it in our Team PFE page and in our Team Cup page, because I watched it and I was like, if I could literally put my head on top of her neck and just say exactly what she said, this is everything that we all need to hear, starting with me. Just when things start to feel stressful, and it's not that the business is going to be easy, but there's a difference between stressful and overwhelmed and, this isn't fun, versus just that good type of stress, like, woo, we got a lot of work to do, but you're enjoying it and you're loving it and you're getting value from it and you're passionate about it. There's a difference. There's a difference between work and a labor of love. And for me, I always want this business to stay a labor of love. I don't want it to be something that is work, because we already have jobs. I quit my full-time job, praise God, but I've already had jobs, and that to me is work. And so I realized after watching this video of hers, this is all it's about. It's like anytime, it's just like anything you can think of that you're just off the path a little bit. And you have to remember, wait a minute, what's the mission? Why are we doing this? We're making our lives better, and we're making other people's lives better. That's a gift that we get to give to ourselves and to other people. And then knowing that you're already light years ahead of what any other company is going to offer you. She made a point on the video that, any person who works for any company, and she's worked for a lot of companies, she's like, they don't care how much you invest into their company and have to neglect your own life to do so. Beachbody is the exact opposite. And she also pointed out that, we are so opposite of network marketing, traditional network marketing. Even though we're technically a network marketing company, most network marketing companies, you have to invest a lot of money up front, or some amount of money up front, other than, like, for us, it's a challenge pack, but it's like, okay, we're going to use that anyway. You have to buy a lot of product, and then that immediately puts you under pressure, in my opinion, because you now have to try to push that product out of your house because you've purchased it, you made an investment into your storefront or your business, and now you're under pressure to sell that product so that you turn a profit. For us, we don't have that pressure. We literally are given the gift of being able to help people from a genuine, no pressure standpoint. And to me, that's all I ever wanted in a job, and I could never find it because most jobs, that's just not going to be the case. Beachbody does not lead with the money because they really want us to understand that when you help enough people get to their goals, the money is going to come. It's a byproduct of helping people to achieve what they're trying to achieve. And when you take care of yourself first, you have that strength and that ability to do what our mission is, which is to help people live healthy, fulfilling lives. So I just was so floored by her call that I listened to today, because it was called Back to Basics with Bonnie. And it was so awesome. It's like, this is what we need a constant reminder of, is just stick with the basics. Keep the main thing the main thing. Yes, get better at the basics, because successful people do the fundamentals better. But if you're not mastering the basics, you don't need to be doing anything else. You don't need to be worried about a website and a blog and, your YouTube channel and all this stuff when you don't have the basics of drinking your shake every day, showing up for your workout every day, reading personal development, and number one, inviting. Most people, the number one thing that they skip is inviting. And inviting is the most powerful way to move your business forward. It is the heaviest. If you could give each one a percentage, I would say inviting has at least 60 to 70% of what moves your business forward. It does, in terms of the business. Now, you can't get anywhere else without the other things, just like nutrition. It's like 80% of your results from your fitness program come from what you consume, come from what you eat. But you're not just going to have some amazingly shaped body by just eating amazing food. You have to do the workouts. That's at least 10% of it, but it's not the biggest percent, if that makes sense. So it's like, yeah, you can work out all day, but you can't out-train a bad diet, because the diet is so powerful. You can read personal development, drink your shake, and read, and do your workout every day. If you're not inviting people to your challenge group, you don't have a business. If you're not hitting Success Club, truly, you don't have a business, a viable business. So if you're somebody who's not hitting Success Club every month, don't take that as, oh my gosh, I don't have a business, I suck. No, you have to understand that that's something you work towards by sticking to the basics, not going, oh my gosh, I have to hit Success Club. It's, I have to do the vital behaviors, and Success Club comes because of that. Money comes because of that. So you really have to not put the cart before the horse type of thing. And so this call just really decompressed me. It just was like, okay, like I need to just, because you want your business to go fast. We're in Team Cup, like we're like Success Club points, let's do it, let's go. And that's good, because you do have to push sometimes. You do have to do a push, just like sometimes when you're dieting, I shouldn't say dieting, but when you're trying to lose weight and get through that plateau, sometimes you do have to push yourself to do a little bit more than you were doing, because you have to break that plateau and get over the hump. That's what the Team Cup is about, is breaking a plateau in the business or creating momentum that you didn't yet have. So but it's no different from any other month of the year in terms of what the behaviors are that you're doing every single month. You're just doing them more. You're just doing more of them. You're ramping it up and focusing on it more. So it's like a push goal. So anyways, team, I really just wanted to make sure we got together on this call to touch base, see what everybody needs, see where everyone's at, see if you guys have anything you want to share that's working for you, or anything that you need help with. So I will stop talking. There's something in the chat. I'm unmuting everyone. And if you have anything to say it right now.
Right now. I don't know if I have a lot to say. I just think that I'm going to just piggyback a lot on what you said, because for me, the hardest things for me are inviting and to be consistent. Very hard for me. I did sit down last night, 25 of them. So I was like, I'm not going to bed until I do 25 invites. And I did.
That's awesome.
Half for coaching and I did half for a free group. So tonight I'm going to focus on group invite. So I'm gonna try and get 20 done tonight. So that's my goal for 20. So the other thing that I don't really do a lot, which I do more of, is the personal developments, like listening to Bonnie Engel and getting, like, just putting my headphones on. Like, I need to keep these in my car, my earbuds, so I can just put them on and literally, you know what? And I was really better at this when I had them wrapped around my mirror, you know, in your car.
Yep.
So I got to get back into that, because I'm not really a book person, and I never read in like elementary school. So I'm like, I'm trying to read books, and I'm like, oh, it's so hard.
Well, let me interrupt you real quick, because I can't sit down and read often without falling asleep. So, and even if it's like daytime, like I'll be sitting at my kitchen table and I'm going, the words are crossing, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, forget it. I got Audible, and most books will come on it will have an audio version. I just can't seem to get myself through a book without listening to it. So it's hard for me in a different way, because I'm a visual learner. I'm not an auditory learner. Mm-hmm. However, I've found that I'm more consistent because of it with my personal development, and I can pause it and not go, what page was I on, and reread the same page like a million times. And I can do it while I'm in the car.
That's what I have to start doing.
Yeah. I mean, it'll make your life so much easier. And then when you can read something, if you feel like that's going to make you soak it in better, fine, but don't pressure yourself to have one format of, I'm a good writer, but I was never a big reader. I mean, I've probably read through maybe 2 novels my whole entire life. And that was like, whoa, like,
yeah,
you know, and I mean, even The Compound Effect, I was so happy that it was so short, but even that I had to keep starting it over.
I did like GoPro when I read GoPro, but I'm just, who am I kidding, Stacey? You've never been a reader. You act like you are, and you're just not. Like, I'm just not. Like, I look more at pictures. I do leave pictures. I'm definitely a visual learner more than anything. So I think I'm going to invest more in the YouTube videos. I'm just going to go, I'm going to start there at Bonnie Engel. That's what I'm going to do. Those are going to be my personal, because if I can watch you and hear you, I have to get better at that. I have to be more, and even here's the thing too, I want to get better at, even if I don't do, you know, invite for, like, say tonight for whatever reason, which I'm going to, but if I couldn't, I got to say, like, on my Teamzy, if it says 3 invites, then I should do 3 invites. Like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be this, it doesn't have to be a massive number. You just need to do it. You know what I mean?
And she talks about, this call, I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. She talks about that, because she says, look, I don't care if it's 5 people or 50 people, whatever you can stay consistent with every single day. She said what she did, because when she first started out as a coach, she had 3 jobs. So she had to get up early. And she said, if I knew that the only thing I could do was invite, I made sure inviting was the very first thing I did. So she said she would send out 10 invites in the morning, right? So she felt like that was something she could stay consistent with. That was her number. So
that's what I need to do.
So what happened was, she said, you know, there will be days, she said normally she had a 15 to 16 hour day almost every day that she worked. However, there were some days where maybe a client canceled or who knows, but she had more pockets of time. She goes, okay, on those days, that's when you start to fit in an extra amount of invites or, working some other aspect of your business that you've been wanting to work on. But in the time that you consistently have, which is, what that is for you, whether it's 1 hour a day or 5 hours, whatever it is, 30 minutes, you make that vital thing done first. You don't put that off, and then everything else, so you decide your number.
This is what I'm doing now. I got a new calendar. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Yes, nice.
But can you, I have
free, yep, I see it.
Free group coaching. So now so I'm a visual, so now I know that I have everything orange. This is another thing that I'm working on so I can stay more consistent, so I can remind myself and also not get overwhelmed, because I noticed myself getting over new group. I need to go and create the groups like a week ahead of time.
Yes.
And I wasn't doing that. So that was kind of dumb on my part, but I learned, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing that. I'm going to set it up, get everything in there, and then the night before, all I have to do is add these people into the group.
Yep. That took me an entire year to realize that it was stressing me out.
I was like, why?
And I was like, why am I waiting? Nobody has to be in the group. And you know what you can do? Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, when you create the group, you have to add a person in order to create.
I just
add you and remove you.
Oh.
That's all I do. I just add you and remove you.
Oh, okay. I just keep you in.
Well, I don't care. I'm just saying that way you can open it up, but then you can be the only person you can put.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought, okay.
Yep. And then you can just be like, okay, I'm ready to add people. And then it's almost like getting ready for your party. You're like, okay, I got all the plates out. I got all the snacks. I got everything. All right. Now everybody can come in. Yeah. But it took me a while to realize that too. And those are the things you'll realize. But you won't if you're always trying to have the template for everything. She talks about this in the call too. She's like, it's amazing that we have these templates and it's amazing that we have these trainings. But the reality is the way you learn is on the go. The way you learn is by doing in this business more than anything else. And the beauty of this business, what attracts people so much to this particular Beachbody business is the fact that we embrace the imperfections. In another company, you have to be somebody you're not. You have to put on a face. You have to, be the face of that company and leave. I don't know how many corporate jobs you guys have had, but one of the things that was always common in all of the corporate jobs that I had was you leave your personal life at home. That's a big thing in the corporate world. You leave your personal life at home. Well, what the heck? I'm a person. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you should be unprofessional, but I'm sorry, I'm not a robot.
Right.
So I think one of the most appealing things, especially for women, and maybe I shouldn't say that, but in general, the women that I know, we are more sensitive. We are more emotional. We tend to be more like loving, caring. Like our world is connected. We don't just compartmentalize. So for us, it's like, what do you mean leave my work at home? I mean, leave my personal life at home. Like, yeah, I'm a person. I'm here now. And so Beachbody, you still have to be professional, but you get to be you. You get to not.
But that's what I love about this, because
what's so appealing.
I've been a person, I don't know, Lisa, if you've ever been like this, but I am somebody who presented very confidently, but inside was very checking my boundaries and just very hesitant. And what I love, I think this is something I'm going to really talk about in the coaching opportunity, is what it really has done for me as growing into my adult years. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like taking those imperfections that I've carried up until probably a pivotal year for me, and then now it's just getting better and better and better and better and better. That those things are okay, and that I can get on here and do a post and say, hey, I had this issue, and then I get thousands of hits on it because everybody really does relate to you. And you're like, oh my God, me too. And I love that, because not only are we growing a business, but we're also healing a lot of ourself.
It's such a unique opportunity. I mean, I can't even.
I think I really want to touch more on that with people, because I think people, and Christy had mentioned, like, selling, where people think we're salespeople, and it drives me nuts, because the whole world is a sale. From down to a Girl Scout cookie knocking on your door. I mean,
right? It's like, I don't know why people get so like, you're trying to sell me something. It's like, the company you work for is in sales. They might not be selling a product, but they're selling a service. They are providing something. So I don't know why that's so offensive to people. I really don't.
I don't think I'm ever going to understand that. I think they almost, the person who gets on the phone and it's a courtesy call, where you're like, crap, there they are again. Or back before we had internet and people were knocking on your door to sell cable, but I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but it was just, I'm not a salesperson. I'm just telling you how amazing this can be. And if you find it annoying, scroll down. You don't have to pay attention, just like I don't pay attention to things that don't interest me. That's okay.
Exactly. It's not offensive. I'm not gonna, you don't have to duck and hide from me. I'm not, but I think that we've all had that bad experience too. And so you really have to work on getting your past experiences out of what you're doing. You have to ask yourself, okay, I've had that experience, but is that going on now? Is that what I'm doing? No, I'm not doing that. So I don't have to be worried about proving something that's not even happening.
Exactly.
And the other thing too is that we don't sell Shakeology. Like, I can't reiterate this enough. You are literally, you have this unique opportunity to say, let's take Beachbody products out of it. Let's say that I love graphic t-shirts, right? So I'm going to post a lot about graphic t-shirts if I'm obsessed with graphic t-shirts. And if graphic t-shirts have changed my life in some way, like what if I met my husband because I had some funny graphic t-shirt on or something, whatever. I can't think of a great example, but the point is that if it's something that has made your life better in some way, and you are, really passionate about it because of that, and you do eat, sleep, and breathe it every day, you're going to talk about it, and people are going to relate to you. And the people who hate graphic t-shirts or don't have graphic t-shirts on the mind and don't have any interest in that and don't need that, they can keep scrolling. They don't have to have anything to do with it. But the people who are like, oh my gosh, I was really been looking for a good place that makes good graphic t-shirts and has good sayings and whatever, those are the people you're looking for. And the reason why you have to be yourself, and it's not just get to, but you have to, is that you have got to weed out the people that don't belong in your tribe. You have to weed out the people that don't relate to you. And the only way they're going to know they relate to you is if you're sharing more than just, I drank my Shakeology today and I worked out. Now, that's a huge part of your life, but to find the people that really get you, you have to share all the parts of your life, because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, she loves hot cocoa just like me. She drinks, peppermint schnapps just like I do, or whatever. I don't know. But it's like, you have to share all that stuff. And so your 3 posts a day, you do weave Beachbody in there. You don't just, hi, no one wants to see this every day. But at the same time, it's okay to share that sometimes, because that is who you are.
Right.
But you really do want to share why. Like, why is it important? Why are you showing me this Shakeology? And that's where your posts come in, with weaving Beachbody in there. You're breadcrumbing. You're just kind of sharing how this has changed you or helps you in some way. It doesn't have to be some long, deep, amazing post. It can just be, I really didn't feel like working out today. I'm so thankful that I have home workouts, because I would not have gotten in the car and gone to the gym. Boom, done, whatever. Whatever's true for you.
Yeah.
So I think we get so caught up in what should I post? It's like, just do a live journal. You're just journaling live.
I love that.
That's all you're doing. You're just saying, or diary, or reality TV show, whatever you want to say.
Like, I'm literally doing a post right now in my fitness page, and I have my picture of me, and the other picture is the stuff that I'm mailing at the post office. And I'm writing 2 things I love about the mail: giving and receiving, because that's what the post office is all about. So I'm giving away prizes. These are to my free groups and a couple of samples to some people, but then I'm also getting the best nutrients. So I'm putting that in there, and I love that, you know, like that's important to me.
Yes.
So, you know, you don't have to
but you're
sit there
not
and
going,
think of
two things I love about this business is I love that I get to drink 73 superfoods every single day. And I love that you're just talking about how you're just sharing just like you would anything. It's like people freaking love Nikes. Do you get paid by Nike? No, but you talk about that crap all the time.
and that's okay.
All the time. Like,
yeah.
I got the Nike knit flight, whatever, and paid $250 for them. It's like, okay, it's the same thing. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. And the thing is, I think women have guilt about getting paid for things. Like, I don't know what that is, but it's like we're supposed to be like some good Samaritan all the time. Like, it's okay. I don't need anything. No, we have bills to pay and families to take care of. Like, it's okay for us to earn an income. We do not have to feel guilty about that. So it's like if somebody signs up in your challenge group and buys a challenge pack and spends $140 to $200 of their hard-earned money, they made that choice. They didn't do you a favor. They did themselves a favor. So you don't owe them anything other than what you promised them, which is your support, your help with how to navigate that program, your support in the challenge group, your friendship, your accountability. That's what you owe them.
But I like how you said that, though. It's a daily sprinkle along the way. Then that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, you're just documenting.
And here's the other thing. Yeah, if you don't have a good post, don't post. Yep. And here's the other thing too. Some people get really paranoid about a low number on their likes. Like, I only got 3 likes.
Mm-hmm.
If they were 3 people that weren't in your team, I suggest you go into private message and just start a conversation. It's like, hey, I noticed you liked my post. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. How was your day today? You can even bump it up to a level and press the record button so they can hear your voice. Yep. When people hear a tone, they relate. There's a different connection than writing. Writing is a connection. Voice is a connection. Yep. Sometimes it can be stronger. It depends on how you feel about that person. But if you want to reach out to that person and say, hey, you know what? I noticed that you liked my post. I really appreciate it. How was that birthday party last week? Scroll on their page real quick. See if you can find something that's important to them and that you feel like it's how it was.
That's it. I mean, it's not.
That's all I got to do.
That's it. I think it's almost like this. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to church or if you belong to church or whatever, but you know, a lot of people get really upset with like these big name churches because they're like, they have, you know, Joyce Meyer. I love Joyce Meyer. Okay. Joyce Meyer has this huge house and, you know, and it's like, okay, so like she's written over 110 books. She has built a ministry by, you know, doing all these things.
Awesome.
I mean, she's an amazing woman, but it's like people think, oh, you're a church, everything should be for free. No.
Well, even church is a business too. You got to maintain your business.
But here's the thing: you have to pay the staff. You have to keep the lights on. You have to keep people wanting to come to this place. So it's like, for some reason, they have a problem with that. Like, this woman should be living like a pauper, and it's like, no. And that's the same with our Beachbody business. It's like, you don't have to apologize for earning an income. You don't owe anybody anything for them signing up in a challenge group. They did themselves a favor. Exactly. And if they don't get from this experience what they thought they were going to get, number one, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee if it's that bad. And number two, then that's your clue to step your game up as a coach and see, okay, was there something I could have done better? And if there was nothing, then that's when you just let it go. So it's really just, go ahead.
Sorry. No. The other thing too is important. I know we only have 3 minutes here. If somebody leaves you, okay, as upsetting and heartbreaking as it is, if you've crossed your T's and dot your I's and you can say, darn it, I did everything that I could possibly do. And there was one in particular that happened with me about a week ago. I'm telling you, every week I reach out, nothing since the summer. Ask them, say, listen, I know it didn't work out, but can you help me be a better business person? Is there something that I could have done better for you? Use it to your advantage because, one, you never know if they're going to come back because never is really never. And two, learn from them. They could come back and say, well, you know what? You really were blah, 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 blah. And maybe it's right or wrong, you don't know, but just see what they have to say. Use them to better your and be like, I'm a failure. No.
It's just a
See
teachable
how you can
moment.
build, make it for your.
Yes.
Right.
Teachable. Michelle, I'm getting freaked out because I see two of you.
She has a twin.
Hold on. Because I put it on my phone. I didn't know you were having a call.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry that.
And I saw you post the
angles and I'm like, that is freaking me. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, we're going to get cut off. So, invites have to be number one. Please listen to the Bonnie Engel call. It's amazing. And I just posted in the chat, and I'll post it again in our team page, a link to Jim Rohn. Oh my gosh, I was listening to this last night. It's about not being mediocre. It's so freaking good. And it's old. I mean, he's like old school. He's dead, right? He's not alive anymore.
I don't know.
Anyway, amazing. He's like the PD guru of
Now this other call starts at 9, right? 9.
The Shakeology Surge starts at 9. Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm excited about that.
2 hours?
No. In 20 minutes.
It's for Beachbody. I think it's going to be live in the Beachbody Champions page, I believe. But I posted a link in the.
Christina posted that it was like a YouTube hangout.
Yeah.
It is.
But I saw something on Facebook that just said it was 2 hours. It was from like 9 to 11.
It's a surge, so usually the surges are long. So, I mean, you catch what you can. I know not everybody's going to be able to be on all 2 hours, but he's going to just share his amazingness probably. Who knows? But that's all I have. Anybody else have anything before we keep saying less than a minute, but it hasn't cut us off. All right.
I thought that when there were 3 people or less, it didn't time you.
Really? That's awesome, sort of. Really, because you want more people. Yes, that's great. No, it's not. Oh,
I thought you did.